My fiancé cheated on me, or so I believe. But she and her family don't think it's a big deal because she stopped before anything bad happened. My 32, fiancé 32, and her buddies went on a road vacation. I know all of her pals who went with her and am good friends with some of them. She called me while we were on the road trip to let me know everything was fine and that she and her pals were going to a club. Stephanie, my fiancé's friend, called me the next morning and said she witnessed my fiancé go upstairs with a guy. She claimed to have been to this club before and that there is a location upstairs. This is what she told me. After 5-10 minutes, my fiancé came down, and when she asked him what was going on, he answered nothing. So she became suspicious and went upstairs, where she found the guy completely wasted. After receiving this call, I called my fiancé and inquired about it. She told me she was drunk and screwed up, but nothing happened, and she left as soon as she realized what was going on. It qualifies as cheating in my opinion, and during that phone call, I informed her that I was breaking up with her. After that, I didn't pay attention to her and hung up. The same day, but later that day, her family came over since my fiancé contacted them and told them her side of the tale. They admitted that what she did was wrong, but because she stopped, this is salvageable, and I shouldn't waste 10 years like that. The only reason I'm remembering it is because they were truly reassuring, aware, and not at all threatening. Stephanie contacted me again late at night, telling me that my fiancé is furious with her and is attempting to get her kicked out of the group for being a snitch. I believe Steph did me a favor here, and I am grateful to her, despite the fact that she is her friend first, she told me. I'm not sure if I should dump her right now. To me, the point where she stole everything appears to be cheating. The act itself is merely an artifact, and the events leading up to it are equally significant. I know I can't put my trust in her. Even if there is any trust remaining, being engaged to her, let alone getting married to her in January of next year, is insufficient. She messaged me, stating that I'm making it out to be more than it is, and that I should be grateful that she is aware enough to not cheat on me even when she's drunk. Getting drunk is a decision, and I'm not going to accept that as an excuse. She's on her way back, and I'm not sure if I should simply call it quits or attempt to work it out. Any suggestions? Update. If you're wondering, the answer is yes. I'm off of work due to illness. Finally, I'll get to the point. Last night, I did a lot of pondering. Even though I published a post, it was more to legitimize what I had previously done, possibly because I was afraid of ending a long-term relationship. After reflecting on it and the events that followed, I believe I am making the best decision for me. I spoke with Bull, my ex-fiancé, and Steph, which confirmed my earlier decision to end the relationship. When I called my ex this morning, she was certain that I was being unreasonable and that my goal was to ruin her road trip. Throughout the conversation, this tone maintained. I still listened to her, and she recognized that she made a mistake, but it was not her fault. I can't really be furious at her because she just got too intoxicated. She also stated that she stopped it even while she was inebriated, indicating that she is a highly faithful person. When I asked her about the guy and his condition, she never responded. She also didn't respond when I inquired what she was doing with someone who was unconscious. In my opinion, her inability to answer these fact-based questions indicates that she did not get her tail straight and thought it through thoroughly. When we last spoke, she said we can talk about it in depth when she returns, which indicated to me that she was attempting to repair it. But when I asked her today if she was on her way back, she said she'll be back in 3 weeks, and then we can talk about it, and that I misinterpreted her. That's a joke. This very much cemented the deal for me. This chat made no mention of Steph. After that, I spoke with Stephanie. My ex and her friends continued the road trip without her and didn't even tell her. When she awoke this morning, she saw that all of the others had disappeared. I think it's messed up. I also asked her about the incident, and she said she made everyone aware of the location ahead of time, so my fiancé knew what she was doing. Many things are going well for me right now, including my career. I worked for a large airline and was promoted to a high-level management position just before the coronavirus outbreak. I don't want things like this to hold me back, so chopping it off seems like the best option. Also, this is beneficial to both of us. I can be in a proper relationship while she can go to spots, stalk wasted dudes, and not do anything. To me, this appears to be a win-win situation. The irony is that I wanted an open relationship at first and she shot it down. But now that we're in a monogamous relationship, she wants to do this. I did obtain Steph a return ticket, so she could travel home safely and pleasantly. She came over in the afternoon following her flight to chat about everything. I told her I was okay and thanked her for her help. 1.5 to 2 hours later, she texted me a Snapchat location map and questioned what she was doing in our house. I told her she only came over to see if I was okay because adultery is a big issue to most people, and I also informed her that it was my home and that she would move out when she returned. Now, all I have to do is concentrate on myself for the time being and wait to see if I live to regret this decision. Also, for those who asked me in the last article, yeah, that was cheating, and to 3-4 people, you can't tell me how I should feel my feelings, only I can do that. My true man doesn't experience emotions. Story number 2. My wife is pregnant, and the child may not be mine. I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I've been drinking heavily for the majority of today, so you'll understand if I stop making sense. My wife is 38 years old and I am 40 years old. She was adamant that we would never have children. I desired them, but I preferred her to the prospect of becoming a further. We met when I was 20 and she was 18 and married when I was 22. She came from a wealthy family, and her parents disapproved of me. They believe she married outside of her socioeconomic class. She went to see her parents a few months ago, and her father purchased her a new car. Her parents have a lot of money, and I trusted her, so I didn't question it. In addition, she has always received gifts from her father over the years. What makes this one any different? I was overjoyed when she told me. She was pregnant a few weeks ago. I'm the happiest I've ever been. It didn't last long, though. I got a call from a buddy who said he saw her with her brother-in-law, her sister's husband, while she was visiting her parents. She hadn't mentioned seeing him to me. They've always had a strange chemistry that made me uneasy, but I consoled myself with the thought that she had chosen me. She could have chosen him, but she chose me. Things changed after a friend showed me some images. The photographs depicted a couple that were extremely close. They were holding hands and gazing at each other in the shot. Intimate gestures of people who know one another. We're looking at home with a glance I imagined was intended for me. He kissed her with his hands in her hair. It turns out that he most likely purchased her the automobile. I confronted her and asked her what had happened, but she lied. She said she hadn't seen him. I was told that I should know the score between them and that she needed to be civil. Extremely courteous. I showed her the photos and told her she had to leave. That was about a week ago. Then I did the math in my head and realized the dates were all correct. There is a strong possibility that he is the baby's father. I asked her for a DNA test today and she exploded. The idea of putting her baby to the test. But if I don't have one, I'll never recognize this child as mine. This entire incident has caused me to doubt my marriage. Not to mention how honest she has been throughout. How many of the gifts she's gotten throughout the years have come from her father? Is she just stretching her legs for any man who buys her anything nice? Is it true that I forwarded the photos to her sister? Not for the noble motive of believing she should know. I want to hurt my wife and brother-in-law, and this is the only way I know how. On Monday, I plan to consult with a lawyer and initiate divorce proceedings. Thank you for reading and please accept my apologies if this is a jumble. I'm not feeling well, and I've had a lot to drink. Thank you for your help. Those who do not believe me are free to do so. I understand your skepticism because this is the internet. I need her approval for a DNA test, and she has stated unequivocally that she would not grant it. The next stage is for me to get divorced and lose half of my belongings. Infidelity is less important in UK courts. Any spelling and grammatical errors are the result of dyslexia and a high blood alcohol level.